Hello, my name is Daniel Kelly. This exam covers chapters 12, 13, 14 in our textbook. Question number 1, describe each component of supply from your chapter and explain how they build on one another. There are a multitude of components of supply. The first one is natural resources and the environment. This component is usually areas of beauty such as beaches, lakes, landforms, mountains, or terrain. Usually towns, attractions, or hotels are built around rivers, lakes, on mountains, or near a beach. Towns are usually near these locations for tourism purposes or trade. The second component of supply is the built environment. The built environment consists of infrastructure, buildings, surface or underground development. It can be hotel buildings, malls, railroads, airports, restaurants, museums, water supply systems, sewage and disposal systems, and much more. Basically, this is where everyone works and lives in the tourism industry, also where people spend their money and survive. The third component of supply is the operating sectors. The operating sectors must be near some natural beauty to draw tourists there. The operating sectors must have a building and the necessities such as electricity, sewage, and fresh drinking water systems. The operating sectors make up a large portion or important part of the tourism industry. The attractions, transportation, and accommodations, food services, entertainment, events, and other sectors and more make up this. Without these things, tourism is very small or nothing. Transportation helps people travel to and from their home to a destination and around it. The attractions and natural beauty of the area, along with the entertainment, attract tourists to a destination. Food services and shops help appease tourists while there, and the accommodation sector gives them a place to stay, a place to sleep, eat, rest, relax, and work. The fourth component of supply is the spirit of hospitality and cultural resources. This component is also very important since you need employees and culture. You need employees that know the culture of the area. You need them to provide good customer service and provide good hospitality to tourists. The local citizens need to be friendly and welcoming. A culture of an area or its history could also be a huge reason why tourists enjoy that area or continue visiting it. This is the social foundation of the destination that is already filled with people, infrastructure, businesses, goods, and services, and a natural beauty or historical landmark. Festivals, sporting events, art, music, history, and fine arts are very important in a destination for tourism as well. Chapter 13, question number 3, how do you calculate hotel occupancy, ADR, or the average daily rate, and RevPAR? Also describe what each one means through your words. The OCC, or the occupancy rate for hotels, is calculated by taking the total number of rooms that are occupied and dividing it by the total number of rooms available for use. The occupancy rate tells us how many rooms are filled in a hotel and can be used to tell us how busy the hotel is. For cities, this rate tells the town how busy the hotels are at different times of the year, such as peak season or slower times of the year, for instance. Also, the value of an unsold room is nothing, so it is always better to have it filled than empty. The average daily rate is calculated by taking the total amount in cash of all rates paid that night for all rooms and then dividing that number by the total number of rooms that are occupied for that night. Some rooms have discounted rates from buying in bulk, being a AAA member, a senior citizen, or just booking a room way in advance, like 6 months to a year prior. So that has an effect on the average daily rate and the rates for rooms. This tells the hotel owner or manager what the average daily rate is across the entire hotel for the day, month, week, or year, which is the average price of each room charged for the night to guests. RevPAR is calculated by taking the total number of all the rates paid that night and then dividing that number by the total number of rooms in the hotel. RevPAR can also be calculated by taking the occupancy rate and multiplying it by the average daily rate. RevPAR tells the hotel manager or owner how much money they could have made that night rather than the average daily rate, which can tell the owner or hotel manager how much they actually made that night. Chapter 14, question number 4. Explain the difference between direct, indirect, and induced economic impacts, and then provide a tourism example as well. There are 3 economic impacts of tourism. Direct economic impacts on the environment would include a tourist spending money at a hotel, a tourist attraction, a performance or an event, and at restaurants or shops directly. This is where the tourist directly spends their money at tourist-related places or establishments. Some indirect economic impacts would be restaurants buying food from suppliers, farms, or grocery stores to later sell to customers like tourists after obtaining money or profit from tourists spending money in their restaurant or hotel or place like that. A hotel has to buy food, cleaning supplies, sheets, pillows, water bottles, groceries, TVs, or other various products that tourists use or buy from the hotels or use at the hotels. These tourist attractions, restaurants, and hotels spend money at other places to help their own business survive and be profitable, and also to appease customers. So it's an indirect impact because indirectly, suppliers, farms, cleaning companies, pillow companies, and other various companies are making money off of restaurants and hotels' expenditures, which rely on customers like tourists for their own direct survival. Induced economic benefits are where employees of hotels or tourist attractions, such as like Disney World, are paid by their company for their hard work with tourists, and then they go out and spend that money on dog food, phones, TVs, food, their home improvements, their actual home, or much, much more. An example of tourism using these 3 instances or economic impacts would include a tourist spending their money and time one day at Disney's Hollywood Studios theme park in Orlando, Florida. The tourist bought a Mickey Mouse ears hat, and then that tourist's expense at Disney World directly benefits Disney in Orlando's local economy. Disney then decided to pay their employee, Jan, with money that she earned working hard with tourists at Disney World. Jan can decide to go buy some food at a local diner in Orlando, Florida. This was an induced benefit for the local economy. The diner also purchases their food locally from a farm as well, and Disney also has to decide to buy more Mickey Mouse ear hats, and they can do that from a local manufacturer named ABC Company. This expense indirectly benefited the local manufacturer, ABC Company, and the local economy from the tourist expenses at Disney World, since Disney had to buy more hats. Question number 5. Explain what an economic multiplier is. Well, an economic multiplier means how many times does a tourism dollar circulate across the entire local economy before it leaves the area or region, for instance. Did the money go from a hotel locally to a large betting company, or did the money go to an employee who then spent it on food locally, and then the restaurant owner bought food or produce from a local farmer who then spent it on seeds from a local general store who bought the seeds from a large corporation outside of the local area? It is very important to keep that money within the economy to grow it and make the community more profitable or wealthy. If the economic leakage is high, however, then the economic multiplier will be low. The money that could have stayed locally and benefited the local economy leaked out and went elsewhere.